And we are live. My name is Rashnama. I am your host of RNN Live. Now, I just want to check, is my mic all good? I'm not too loud?
You're fine.
Okay. Does everyone else think it's fine?
Yeah, you're good, man.
I had to reduce the volume on my end.
I'll reduce it a little bit. Okay. Yeah. How's that?
Good. Better.
Okay. So, anyways, why don't we have our guests introduce themselves? And I have no idea why Nico is always the last one here.
Z knows why.
Because he's the bottom.
Anyways, introduce yourselves.
Hello, my name is Nico Boy. I'm a music producer and content creator, and I have a video coming up this Friday.
Yay!
Ooh. That's definitely interesting. Damon, your turn.
I'm Demon, you know who I am.
You better have kept the whiskey in the cabinet tonight.
No, I'm drinking coffee.
Okay, so you definitely put the whiskey in your coffee.
Irish cream.
Yeah, it's Irish coffee. All right. I am Big Red Wolf. I'm a artist and musician. I'm usually wasting my time doing both or playing games.
Then we got me, a failure at everything, lost the World War, and now I'm trapped with this group of guys.
2 world wars.
Shut up.
Well, then Bismarck couldn't pull it off.
Anyways, now that we got that out of the way, for anyone watching right now, please go ahead and follow my Greater California account on Twitter, Parler, and MeWe. MeWe is a new social media like Parler, although this one is actually supposed to be a legitimate free speech social media. So go follow me on those social media so we can help spread the movement of Greater California and grow it, and maybe eventually within a decade's time we can actually make it a thing happen.
Okay, but more importantly, follow every one of our Twitter and other accounts over here because we actually exist.
Is mine's dead?
Yes.
What do you mean? Greater California will exist eventually.
Just like Greater Idaho.
Hey, look, he knows about it. Anyways.
Well, of course.
Wait, do you live in Idaho?
Yes, he lives in Idaho. Or wait, no, he doesn't live in Idaho. He lives in Oregon.
You better live in the part of Greater Idaho because that sounds like a genius plan.
Well, Idaho, I know at least is like willing to talk about it, but Oregon politicians don't seem too keen about it. At least the state one.
But if there's enough interest, they have to allow referendum. And if the referendum gets enough, then basically they have no choice.
You underestimate Democrats there, Z.
Yes and no, because Democrats are also very easily pushed by people with torches on fire, as we saw in Detroit. Or as what's currently going on with CNN headquarters in Atlanta, with the angry crowd outside of there.
Again?
Yeah.
Republicans
but they're not burning shit. They're just
they're just
annoying them.
Standing outside angry, shaking their fist.
Look at Brexit. Yeah, that's a fucking different story. Also, what the fuck do you mean look at Brexit? I fucking was in the UK when Brexit happened. I didn't think it would happen. We lost €200 that day. Because we did the mistake of converting money before the whole thing happened.
Oops.
But yeah, also Brexit did happen after all these years, and Britain is out of the EU, and the EU is still trying to get money from them to almost no success.
Good. Fucking shit.
But my basic point is that whether the Democrats actually would allow a referendum or so on, they would also have to realize that people who know how to use guns probably know how to make things look like accidents. And if they're willing to, allow a crowd of pissed off college students burn down one of the few cities that they actually win elections in, but then they instantly fight against the said angry crowd when they start to protest their own mansions, how is it going to end well with a crowd who doesn't have access to firearms, now has access to firearms and, knows how to use them? Hell, any numbskull can turn shotgun shells into a makeshift grenade. So,
I don't want to know how you know that.
Great
Yeah,
video with special ammunition.
But anyways, again, please follow Greater California on all those different social media and help spread the movement.
Commission
Alright.
some of us. We need money.
Yes,
Yes,
Z needs some money,
please.
so if you can commission him and also Neca Boy and Red Wolf, because Red Wolf also has some fantastic art.
Ooh.
Musical
Anyways,
art,
It's not that kind of art, Nico.
No, it's not.
I do music and writing.
Okay, but Demon, did you hear about the new
SFW.
shotgun slug made in? I think it was made in Texas, but it's been legally sold in Florida now, if I understand it correctly. Did you hear about it?
Wait, what?
It's a shotgun slug, so it's a solid slug for a 12-gauge shotgun, except it has a 9mm bullet in it. So when it hits the target, it shoots a 9mm bullet at the same time.
Oh, I have to go buy some. That's the one thing I don't have.
Speaking of making teens
seems-
look like accident, there's a particular political family who are experts at it.
Don't you
yeah.
say it, she'll come after us.
Let's just say their accidents could use a little bit improvement. I mean, one of the big cases was the one who committed suicide on his dead wife's grave, except he had 3 bullet holes in his head.
Back of his head, yeah.
Not exactly a suicide, not exactly a suicidal death.
Oh yeah, and Seth Rich, who got
Well, that
quote, robbed, and somehow they didn't take anything.
yeah.
What's this?
Yeah.
American
Dreamer
Dreamer MAGA man said, I have grammar mistake over here, an old family double-barrel shotgun, but it's somewhere up in the attic. Well, take it out, give it a little bit of a scrub, give it some good oil, and it should work again if it's one of the older models.
It depends on how old it is.
I'm not reading this one. I don't want to die.
I don't have any evidence that would lead to the arrest
We're all
of
gonna
Hillary
die if you read
Clinton.
that.
See, hey, if
We're
you
all
read
dead.
that, it means you're fine.
Yeah.
Wink, wink.
We're all fucked.
You say 3 times in the mirror. What happened?
FBI's probably watching us anyway.
Anyways, let's get this video started.
Oh god.
What exactly are white people superior at?
Oh, well, according to television, everything. A white man could fly. Even a white woman, she could be 4'1". She knew karate. She could take down 15 people.
What? I still don't get what the fuck she's talking about.
What are white
She's
people
talking about
superior
TV, fiction.
at?
Okay.
Man.
Is this person white?
That's a loaded question to begin with.
Not only that, isn't that very supremacist of
It
the...
is.
Yeah, why don't they ask them what are
What
black
are white
people
people
superior at?
Is this a black person? Please don't say that.
Nobody should have that many
Mostly
armpits.
about their pets.
Or that many folds.
Like, that's all you see.
Oh my god, stop
Letting
clicking
them get
your
on
nails.
countertops while
Shanae.
you're cooking.
Yes. I get that you love your pet, but like you need to take it everywhere, like everywhere. I guess, hey, emotional support
Do you need to
animals, I
rob
guess.
from
What exactly are white people doing real, lady?
Fuck, man, like making cereal.
Casseroles.
What kind of casserole?
Tuna. It's always tuna.
I have never eaten a tuna casserole. In fact, I don't think I've eaten any casseroles.
I'm not too sure what a casserole is. I've only ever heard of tuna casserole, and I've only ever heard of it from black people.
I've never
seen
had
anywhere.
it.
Well, here's tuna casserole in a nutshell.
The only thing I
Just
ever
take tuna,
had
mayonnaise.
is a green bean casserole at Thanksgiving one year, and I hate green beans.
Anyways,
I
what were
love
you saying,
green
Red?
casserole.
It's, in my experience, tuna casserole is just like noodles, tuna, and mayonnaise, more or less, and that's it. You cook the noodles, mayonnaise in it, you make tuna, and you add like celery or carrots or whatever. And
So
that's it.
casserole is that thing it's a cold dish where it's all like buried in mayonnaise.
Sometimes.
Kind of like tuna salad.
No, tuna
I
salad
thought
is actually good.
Yeah,
no,
yeah,
because we
yeah.
have
Green
an
bean casserole.
Italian dish.
Yeah, green bean casserole.
Like a better joke would have been like, not enough seasoning on your chicken or something.
Someone says that.
Speaking of which, yes.
Actually,
actual
they get into
stereotype.
that, but anyways, let's go on.
Yeah.
What do you mean? It's always tuna.
Using mayonnaise
It's good.
in a lot of their recipes.
Making bland.
Oh,
food.
shut up! That's Eastern European. This woman is just insulting to Boris.
I mean,
They
yeah,
gotta
because
do-
it's not really an American thing to use mayonnaise in a lot of dishes. thing.
Oh, please. It's an
Really?
American thing to drink mayonnaise.
No, it really isn't. Mayonnaise is, we don't have an obsession with mayonnaise.
Canadians do.
What?
Mayonnaise is more a Canadian and European thing.
No, mayonnaise is more...
That's good on sandwiches.
For me, if you want Europe, it's a very Eastern European, the Balkan region thing.
Slavic
Like,
stuff.
if you check out any videos from Life with Boris, or Life of Boris, more precisely.
He's Boris.
Yeah, everything is just mayonnaise, and if you just check out, a good portion of the food is just based around mayonnaise. In Western Europe, we have some old dishes which are mayonnaise heavy, but it's not something frequent. And the only time I've actually seen mayonnaise en masse is when they give it with French fries, because if you get French fries, you either get mayonnaise or ketchup.
So this video is basically just 100 racist black people. Okay, continue.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh,
What
trust
you-
me, it gets worse.
Oh
And-
no.
We've all seen it.
Yep.
Well, not everyone here has.
Yeah, like I quit after 30 seconds.
Yeah, but
I made
we've
it,
still seen parts of it.
I made it about this far.
Yeah, and
What?
it gets worse here.
Alright,
Worse,
this is,
demon. It gets a lot worse.
Great.
Pedro says, I dip my French fries in mayo. My mom's Canadian. She passed away. She passed down that insanity to me. Sorry, Pedro, I didn't mean to read it that way.
Yeah, Pedro.
Creepy, man.
I was about to say, oh, I'm sorry for your loss. Now you.
I was about to say that until I reread it and it's passed down. So I was just reading it like, I dip my French fries in mayo. My mom's Canadian. She passed away. It's like, oh.
See, did you get into somebody's brownies, man?
But,
That's only for the Dutch.
Oh,
but going back to ketchup and mayo, you put them together, you get
yeah. I
fry
was about
sauce.
to say that. There's actually a Heinz thing where they already do that for you. So it's
Ooh,
pre-made with mayo and ketchup.
I might try
Yeah,
it.
Heinz has a lot of things like that. Anyways,
We used to do that in high school.
why do I read this out loud?
Ketchup.
A video asking black folk what are white people superior at. It consequently shows and proves that black American stereotypes correct. It's a shame.
Yeah,
No comment.
sadly. And like,
Uh,
I've met the black guys I've known basically have told me before that they have been raised to not, I wouldn't say not worship education, but not worry as much about education because you got like entertainment or athletes. And that's generally it. There are a few exceptions. Like one of my roommates became an accountant. He's really fucking good at it. But then that's all you like: drugs, entertainment, athlete, and that's it.
Well, yeah.
And
Then the mainly where they
Criminal.
go on.
Not to necess- yeah, not necessarily just criminal, but you got to. If you don't go that route, you're not considered cool or a man or whatever in that subculture unless you go with entertainment or athletics. That might
Yeah,
not
it
always
sounds
be
like
the
a
case.
kind of remnant of the past.
Well, yeah, that's a lot of in the lower classes of within black people. I think it was in the upper class, like the upper and maybe middle class of black people. They're much more education oriented, especially the upper class within black people.
True.
They're much more similar with that of with the Asian demographic, the upper middle class, blacks.
And even Fresh Prince of Bel-Air like addressed this where like a fraternity was complaining that the guys weren't black enough because they're from Bel-Air.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah. And
the good old days
when
when the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air actually made good commentary.
Mm-hmm.
And Will Smith was
And the freaking
arrested
dad was a judge.
I wanted to say a joke, which was actually true.
Okay, good, go with it.
I was just saying the good old times of the French Prince of Bel-Air. Also, when Will Smith was arrested because he hired a hitman. Or he ordered a hit. If you don't know, Will Smith has a criminal record because he ordered one of his bodyguards to basically kill one of his competing rappers.
This is like
rappers.
In the 90s.
I didn't even know Will Smith was a rapper.
Oh yeah, dude.
No, he makes music. Like the main rap
I just
song.
known him as an actor, okay? I've never really paid attention to music in my entire life. Okay.
Like one of the main rap songs for Men in Black is Will Smith's own original song. Actually, that's a funny story.
Yeah.
The sunglasses that they wear in Men in Black is of a specific brand that initially they didn't want to give to the movie.
Mhm.
So Will Smith went around because they were willing to give him to wear them for his music video, and he put the movie in the contract. So
Nice.
they wound up giving it both to the movie and the music video. Just some clever writing for them to not, read the fine print. Anyways, let's check out the comments before we go back to the black shit. I was going to mention that the fact that you dip your French fries in mayonnaise is a bigger loss, but that would have been too dark. I'm sorry, Pedro. Pedro also says my mom is okay, everybody. So yes, it's just me not being able to read. So you said it would be worse, Outlaw. Are we going to hear from Black Hebrew Israelites? Oh God.
I mean, you
Pretty
might as
close.
well with some of these
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
Pretty close. Not a lie.
Anyways, let's get on with the video.
What is it with artists and violence? Pedro asked that. No, I don't think necessarily artists. I think you're more talking about rappers.
Mm-hmm. Anyways, let's go on.
Rappers either. It's just a gang.
How you gonna start whole spice wars and don't even use seasoning on your food? I mean, come on. What exactly?
I never
Shit
understood
ton of
that,
seasoning.
because there's Italians who use seasoning, there's Greeks that use seasoning.
Irish, British, German.
I think the only people you might be thinking that don't use seasoning would probably be which European group doesn't predominantly use that much seasoning? Would you say, Z?
The British.
British.
Irish, Welsh.
No, the Irish have more
Welsh.
seasoning than the British. And they're fucking poor. The Welsh don't have food. They only
And what about Germans? Do you say they would use a good amount of seasoning?
Yes, we use a crap ton of seasoning. Depends. Typically, of course, the standard seasoning would be, salt and pepper. But for things like sausages and so on, there's a crap ton of seasoning in it.
And I would still say there is quite a bit of seasoning in
I mean, for God's sakes, my hamburgers use more seasoning than McDonald's. So.
And what about within every state? What do you guys feel in your states? Do you use seasoning?
We use Old Bay here, and that's like a regional thing.
I live around a bunch of Cubans and Puerto Ricans. Do you think we don't use seasoning?
I feel like the stereotype I think a lot of the stereotypes that they think that are true about white people are more specifically true maybe about white liberals.
Probably.
Possibly. They only want avocado toast.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Oh yeah, remember that statistic that the only person that Joe Biden won more votes in was white men?
Yeah.
He lost votes in white women, black men, Latinos, Latino women, Latino men, etc.
Asians.
That says a lot about Twitter.
Yeah.
They think, we support and represent minorities. Meanwhile, actual ones are like,
Fuck all of
we
you.
prefer Trump.
No, just fuck all of you, dude. Anyways, Roy made a comment which I want to read.
This one?
The one who uses seasoning the most is Antonio Vivaldi. Okay, I have not read
I think it's
Vivaldi.
Vivaldi.
Four Seasons.
Vivaldi.
Classical music joke. Very nice.
But yeah, like I never understood the fact of saying that white people don't use seasoning because in the South they use a lot of seasoning.
I was about to say, yeah. And
The
not only
only
that, like,
thing I've ever seen in soul food that isn't seasoned quite a lot is battered fish. But that's
true.
mostly because the fish flavor alone is good enough for it, and sometimes already salt in the batter is too much, and other seasonings don't work out with the fish. So that's the only one I can think of, which is quite good, but has very little seasoning in it for obvious reasons.
What they're saying is like me saying black people only eat fried catfish. Wait, where's the lie?
well, not only that.
Sorry,
Like,
couldn't help it.
well, not so much that, but like, don't Black Americans tend
to what?
Heart disease as well as heart attacks and heart disease as well as diabetes.
Well, yeah, they have the largest
overall.
Diabetes population. They're the most obese population.
So
well, what do you expect from a diet of fried chicken?
Yeah.
Well, actually,
yeah.
to your point, that
I feel like the seasoning joke is probably more so would be correct in white liberals specifically.
Yeah.
It's not a joke; it's a stereotype.
Or whatever, joke, stereotype. You get what I mean.
There's a difference between a joke and a
So the
stereotype.
message of the story is you're better off without white liberals.
I
Yes.
support that message.
What?
I
don't know. A single person doesn't
there
use
is a good
salt or
comment
pepper
over
on
here.
something.
So there's a good comment over here. American Dreamer Maga Man said, "I love barbecue," and we completely forgot about the fact of how much fucking seasoning there's in barbecue.
Mm-hmm.
We
Sugar,
completely also
molasses.
forgot about that.
Z, Roy, bottom comment.
This one?
Yeah.
You would think there would be even more white people who vote for Trump, since
Oh,
they
yeah.
would be formerly black people who turned white after voting for him. Did anyone see the parody video?
Anyways, let's go on and continue.
No, we have a better discussion talking about food and seasoning.
Stop it, you're making me hungry.
Smelling funky. Santa Claus. Extreme water
You know, I don't see how white people smell funky, because I've only heard that black people smell funky. Not specifically from Asians who would say that.
To be fair, I can't tell what the hell a funky smell is, considering I lived in India for close to 20 years, and all I can tell you is the smell of curry and shit.
Yeah.
Anything is an improvement above that.
I was a bartender at an Asian restaurant. Oh, God, you want to talk about awful smells?
I still beat you in that. You didn't
But,
live
like-
next to a river that looked like it was black sludge.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
But anyways, like, as far as people smelling funky, now if they're talking about body odor, technically white people would actually, on average, have less body odor than blacks. Asians would have even less than whites. So it's actually black people, if anyone, would smell actually funky in the sense of body odor.
Okay,
Right.
That's not to insult black people. That's just a fact of biology. They have larger pores.
Okay.
And they perspire more than,
Which
even Asians.
would explain the dry skin and why they tend to use a lot of lotion. At least the black people I've met. They have
Here's the
lotion
thing.
everywhere in their house.
But yeah, with the
Just dry skin.
Every race says that every other race smells funny.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
true.
So what you're saying is, despite the fact that all of us are behind some form of avatar, except Big Red Wolf for some weird reason,
Yeah, I don't know why.
we
that's
all
happening.
just outed ourselves for being white.
what?
I just said that because we're complaining about black people being the ones actually having a funky smell. I just said, despite all of us behind some form of avatar, we just outed each and every one of us of being white.
I'm white and
I've
Asian,
already
damn it.
made. Well, I've already made it quite clear. I practically glow in the fucking dark. I'm that white. So I could be a light source.
Well, anyways, my whole point is that technically speaking, black people would actually have more likely the chance of having a smell because of the larger pores. And as Neko said, with the larger pores comes more perspiration?
Perspiration.
Yeah.
You know what I mean. More
I
sweating.
know what you mean.
Which would lead
more
to
sweat.
more bacteria growing, and the bacteria would leave their waste, which would create body odor.
Hey, Z.
Indeed.
But
Anyways, what happened to Demon?
Oh, dang it.
Gonna have a camera.
oh god, I could only imagine he's wearing a special white pillow costume.
Oh, dude.
Anyways, let's go on.
No.
Corn mazes.
White people are great at having fun. That's a function of white supremacy because
Oh,
they
for
don't
fuck's
have
sake.
Having fun?
Yes, we do.
What?
Yep.
Whoa, go back. What
missed
the
that part.
frick was his reason?
He said white people are good at having fun because that's a function of white supremacy.
Well,
I don't even
Is
wanna
that all,
know
or was there
how-
more?
What?
I can rewind it a little bit.
Yeah, let's.
No.
At having
So this guy's
fun.
missing a
That's a
brain.
function of white supremacy because they just don't have as many stresses as we do.
White people are very
Because they don't have as many stresses as we do, he said.
That's not
We'll
an
see.
excuse. Anyone
Nope.
can have fun.
So I
Guess
don't have
what?
bills.
I'm fucking
Bullshit.
stressed out about making money every day. Guess
Yeah,
what I do at the
exactly.
same time? I
Anyways.
warships and I have fun. Clearly, I
Anyway.
have no struggles.
Anyways, he's bringing up the fact that he's trying to say that black people get arrested more, they have to worry about the cops, which all that is false. Because if you're not committing crimes and you're not speeding, and you don't have to worry about seeing the cops. Now, I'm going to say, I've been pulled over for speeding. It was not because of my race or anything like that. I'm white.
Were you driving a red car?
No.
Okay.
I've been arrested a
That's
couple of
apparently a
times.
myth, by the way.
Demon, I'm not surprised that you would be arrested a couple of times. As far as we know, you killed someone.
Hey, we don't speak of that.
But anyways,
I
like,
haven't found the body yet.
if you don't speed, if you basically are following the law to the T, pretty much, you're not going to have any troubles with the police. There are very rare occasions where there would be. However, it is super rare. The problem why, as I've shown in my previous videos, the reason why so many black people are arrested is for two reasons. One, they have a problem with gang culture, creating a sense that crime is something that they need to do.
Or that's the only avenue.
And the other reason why there is such a high arrest rate is because black and Hispanic people are very much more concentrated in portions of the country, much smaller portions of the country, while the white population is much more spread out throughout the United States.
I got pulled over for wearing my hat backwards and having the windows down playing music. And I also got profiled when I was on my bike one time because I looked like the subject they were looking for. Isn't that what black people say all the time?
Yeah.
I fit the profile.
Something
To be
similar.
fair, I back in India, there was that one time I was visited by the cops because I was racially profiled.
There's something similar that happened to me and a friend of mine. We were walking in a neighborhood towards a grocery store. And apparently we looked like a couple of gang guys. We were just wearing jeans, t-shirt, and jackets. It's just like, and we're both pale as hell. It's just like, wait, what? Like, these guys were undercover, apparently. And my friend always had a knife on him.
What? That's not a good scenario.
Pocket knife. A pocket knife.
Oh.
He's just
Ah, damn it.
weird. Not like a freaking K-bar.
That's what
It'd be
I
a bit
carry.
much. To be like, okay, Rambo, maybe leave that at home.
But
get a
going
machete.
back to the video, like that explanation makes no sense. Like when you look at the history of like black music from jazz to soul and so forth, it's like they know how to have fun. Like,
Yes.
Hell, you
like,
want a good
even
example of that?
despite all
Blues
the
Brothers.
racism, like they still like
Blues
created the movement of jazz and
I've
all the
also
other movements of music. That's a terrible excuse.
I've also heard that black theaters for horror movies are fun
Yeah.
because they're all a lot of reactions going on. I've heard.
You can hear them
Yeah,
all the way.
that was actually a hilarious comment where Sween from Chris Reagan
Mhm.
on the special episodes with some black guy where they do the Twitter trash episodes.
Oh,
He made a comment when Black Panther was coming out. They read the tweet which was saying that white people should not go to the movie because they would be taking a seat away from a black guy. And basically, Sween made the whole joke of if there's a white guy in the theater, there's a chance that he's going to shoot up the theater. But if there's a black person in the theater, you're not going to accidentally sit on them because they never shut up.
Sweetie is out there.
Have you
to say
ever
the least.
accidentally sat on someone in a theater?
No. I've
done that at
accidentally
a-
tripped on someone in the theater, but that's because this was some asshole who kept his legs out and didn't bother to move it when I was trying to get out.
done that at a
I have done
stadium
that.
before.
Okay, we got some comments before we read whatever this guy's comment of.
Which one do you want to start?
Defund, disrupt, dismantle, whichever you want. I mean, this is your stream and you have the power. Whenever a left-winger says white supremacy, just swap it with capitalism and it all makes sense because that's what they mean.
Yeah, I mean,
Not
That's
all
how-
the time, but
I don't know if the fun
Typically
one
you-
would apply.
Okay. Do Indian cops stop anyone who isn't Indian, more or less? No, actually, they stop most Indians because mostly white people don't break the laws. But if there is a severe enough crime, and you're like the only white guy in the area, they will go to you. If they claim widespread racism from only a few instances, then you can claim widespread voter fraud for any amount. Yeah, that's actually true.
That's a good point. Yeah.
Yeah, and
It's funny
if
you
you
mention
consider,
that.
More minorities are voting for Trump, then you could argue, yeah, it is racism. They're suppressing the minority vote, so Trump doesn't win.
Have you guys seen the meme that quote unquote Princess Jolene had put in, where Cenk Uygur saying verify the vote? It's insane, and we can't check to see if anyone hacked into the voting machines. Apparently, they changed their tune.
Oh yeah, same with like New York Times and Washington Post in 2018. They were like, "Oh, there's security concerns," and now they're like, "Oh, this was the most secure election." America Uncovered did a great video about that.
No, he's saying Cenk Uygur saying verify the vote now for whatever reason. It's insane that we can't check to see if anyone hacked the voting machines.
I guess because he kind of found out that Joe Biden is very, very bad for press freedom, and Young Turks do not fit the criteria of those that would be spared.
My favorite thing that I saw today was a meme that was 2016, not my president. 2017, not my president. 2018, not my president. 2019, not my president. 2020, there's no such thing as voter fraud. Why doesn't Trump concede?
Yeah.
Oh, did you see, if you saw some of the things that they have now, there's a lot of places where they have, whatchamacallit, that Trump should concede because there are Republicans telling him to concede. And if you saw the latest one was Representative Liz, which then I had a quick look at who is this person that the media really likes. Her name is Liz Cheney. And I had to look into if she's by any chance related to Dick Cheney. Yeah, she's his daughter. So,
well, the most recent one I saw was Chris Christie, which is no surprise because, number one, he failed miserably at a nomination for president, and number two, he ran the most corrupt state in the country.
Liz Cheney's Dick Cheney's wife.
I'm talking about Chris Christie, the governor of New Jersey.
Yeah, Chris Christie's disgusting. He's a fat slut.
No, Liz Cheney, last I checked, was his daughter.
Maybe they're both named the same.
Well, anyways, why don't we go on the video now?
Very superior at their privilege and utilizing it. We do not have the privilege to do whatever and however we want.
Can I just take exactly white people superior? Give this guy a pinch, he needs it.
Not getting arrested.
I was driving down the street with down the highway with a friend of mine who was white, and he's like, I'm just want to pull over and pee, and I'm in the passenger seat, and I was like, please don't, because a black man thinks differently. If I pull over to the side of the road and pee, a cop is going to be right behind me to punish me.
What exactly? That's called paranoia.
Pause the video. Because I saw the morning stream that Steven Crowder did with this, and he pointed this out because Steven Crowder has a super old video where he actually explains how to pee on the side of the road. And that's because not a lot of Americans realize this, apparently, but there are actual laws pertaining to this. And a lot of people break those laws. So when a cop sees them breaking these laws, they have to intervene because, they're breaking a law.
Yeah. Depending on where you're at, it'd be indecent exposure.
Yeah, that's the whole other issue. Like, he pointed out when he made the video that there's a guy currently that he knows, a friend of his, who is on the registered sex offender list because he had to pee on the side of the road, and he didn't know at the other side of the bush there was a children's park.
Oh, jeez.
The courts didn't really trust him in that aspect when he was caught, he was caught pulling up his pants.
Yikes. So
he believes that his friend didn't do anything, but he says his friend was a complete idiot. So he made this whole video. So this person is just either stupid or doesn't know or is, being malicious about it. It's not that there are genuine laws that probably you're breaking if you're peeing on the side of the road. And Steven Crowder's awkward situation.
You are breaking the law, technically speaking. But again, if you're like if you're down the highway or whatever, and there's woods and like nothing but And you can generally, as far as I'm aware, pull over to the side, go into the woods.
No, just buy a big gulp.
At least easily, you should be fine. Buy what?
Buy a big gulp. Pop the lid off of it. Do
Oh,
your business. Put the lid back on it.
Or do it in a bottle instead.
I hope that wasn't what you said, because in Steven Crowder's video, he says, if you don't want to do any of these, just buy a big gulp.
Oh, God. See?
So
Great
he
minds think
says
alike.
it in the video as a recommendation to just not leave your car. Oh, God damn it.
Gatorade bottle.
Anyways, let's go on.
What's this latest comment from Pedro? This is a high-value production, Z. These people were vetted. It's malicious. Probably. Also, you keep misspelling my name. It's not too easy.
It's a term of endearment.
I'm going to stab you. And my 1% Iraqi blood justifies it.
Insecurity, pretending, fear, being fearful of nothing, being ignorant,
Blame.
letting their egos control their every move, privilege.
Really?
Playing the victim.
Congratulating themselves over shit.
Fuck you,
that
Pedro.
They're incompetent.
This sounds like everything they do.
That should have already been done.
They're superior at being dicks.
Thank
What
you, Pedro.
exactly are white people
This is
superior at?
projecting.
Oppression, gaslighting,
Lack
How
of
these
empathy.
people aren't black? Come on.
intellectualizing oppression.
This person is lighter than me.
Gaslighting.
This person is
Like-
lighter than me.
Like these people are like complaining like, oh, white people are good at fear, yet these are the same people who complain like 4 more years of Trump will literally kill us.
Yeah.
Put everyone in concentration camps, the new
Yeah.
Fort Reich,
Who's,
and no
who's good at fear?
Who has a dog in the background?
That's my dog.
Oh, that's not
Are you
me.
sure?
Hey, it's Jack.
Yeah, it's Jack. He saw a dog.
Anyways, let's go on and finish this video.
I say oppression.
Shut
Just
up!
creatively thinking of new ways of like always staying one step ahead of other people. We get rid of slave catchers, then let's just expand the police force. Like that stuff to me is
That is not
wild.
a fucking comparison.
That's not even
What the hell?
close.
I mean-
What the hell?
Bullshit.
The other thing is that actually black people predominantly also say that they want either the police force to say the same amount it is or be expanded. So
Not only that, most of the drug laws and stuff that were advocated for that screwed up all the 90s were advocated. Yes. So
You lost connection over there for a moment.
I didn't. Hello?
Yeah.
So I looked up the video and they're now at 84,000 dislikes.
Oh.
I looked on it just
Because
so I
American
could
ain't racist,
add my
bitch.
own.
anyways, let's finish this off.
White people superior at making us believe that we don't matter.
Believing that they're superior.
Feeling superior.
Thinking they're superior.
Seriously, I think they're talking about white liberals and themselves.
Yep.
What is she wearing?
I wonder how many of these people are middle class. Probably most of them, if not higher.
Thinking that they're
Looks like the majority of
Thinking
them.
that they are superior.
self-delusion,
Controlling the narrative.
Believing their own press.
marketing of white superiority.
Whether you are Republican, whether
Oh, God, this was scary.
Wait, whoa, whoa.
I'm not expecting that voice.
I was not expecting that.
Okay, so Dr.
We were
Girlfriend
just
is
slapped
actually
across
real.
the face.
I think we found the non-binary person.
We were just slapped across the face. We didn't know
Yeah.
what it is.
The, mentally ill person, apparently. So
Yeah.
at upholding white supremacy.
How about claiming that, you know, they are actually a whole separate race, when actually white DNA comes from the black female?
So what exactly are white people
What?
superior at?
Honey,
Well-
lying, stealing, and cheating.
What?
how that works.
Withholding information.
Lying?
Yeah, that's not how it works.
Lies. What kind of lies? The lies of history. They say that history
What?
was written by
That
the
doesn't-
victor, but the victor could be replaced by the colonizer.
What are white?
Except that's
Oh
only
my God!
That
I'm sorry, but by that logic, I gotta agree with her, because yeah, if you believe in the whole history is written by the victors, which sometimes is, citation the Soviet Union, So in this case, yeah, early history would be more positive towards the colonizers because they were the victors. Because I'm sorry, the brown people didn't really have boom boom sticks. But anyway. So she's technically right, but also heavily wrong.
When they say colonizer too, it's just like the tribes of the natives and stuff, at least here in America, weren't exactly peaceful. Their weapons themselves were meant to bludgeon, not to cut.
Oh, the other problem is this the whole colonizer thing with trying to rephrase the American history is only recent. Hasn't been that way for most of American history. Only recently, in the last couple decades, have people started wanting to say, blaming the U.S. for pretty much anything and everything, and saying that the U.S. and the West are the problems for the world.
It's critical race theory in the 1619 Project.
Okay, I just want to add to the comment over here by Pedro, where he says, history is not written by the victors, it's written by historians. That unfortunately depends on where you are. If you go to Europe and the Western world, sure, it's mostly written by historians, unless it's Wikipedia and about Native Americans in the US, and if it's about anything that involves the Jews in Europe. But then we're talking about countries like North Korea, where, you know, the North Koreans, their history is a little bit, it's a little bit skewed,
insane.
You might know. Or
Same with China.
Yeah, China, and then also certain parts of Russia, they still teach the old Soviet education, you know, such as like in Russian, World War II isn't called World War II, it's called the Great Patriotic War, which is still an education piece from Joseph Stalin, where, you know, quite a lot is reformed. And also the Russian public hates heavily the Polish because they think the Polish are ungrateful bastards because they, quote, freed them from the Nazis, completely forgetting about what the Soviet Union did to Poland after the war. So, so, you know, stuff like that, or, you know, basically any country in the Middle East, where half of their history and science books are, you know, the Quran.
You should thank us for treating you the same way the Nazis did. That's
yeah. That's the big issue. Ironically enough, in Russia, they have huge respect for the Finnish, but I think that's also because the Soviet Union in general is just terrified of the Finnish. Like Finland is the only
when you have
country
Sumo High on your side,
that the Soviet Union didn't integrate into the Eastern Bloc, and as well, despite Finland being technically a Western country during the Cold War, the Soviet Union gifted them a new MiG-23 as a gift of good gracious, which then Finland secretly sent it off to the British to have it examined.
Yeah, during World War II, the Finns kicked their asses right out of the country.
Remember the White Death.
Yep, Sumo High.
Anyways, let's continue on with this shit and see if either one of us will die of diabetes in the process of watching it.
White people superior at
conquering,
imperialism,
colonizing,
colonialism, colonization,
What the fuck was wrong with her head?
They might be better at that than us.
I think the other African countries disagree with you.
She's right about that. Last I checked, it was a black British person who was colonizing most of Africa.
I mean, technically, yes and no. In recent history, the Europeans were the best at colonization or colonialism.
Yeah. Nowadays, it's China.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was going to say in recent past history, it would be Middle Eastern countries, Egypt for some time, but obviously lost, and then also Mongolia. So Asian countries and Middle Eastern countries. Although, really, other than Egypt, no African country.
Wait, what about Mongolia?
Talking like ancient history.
The Mongols.
I think he meant China.
Yeah.
No. I mean Mongolia, not China.
Genghis Khan.
Oh, ancient history, yeah.
Yeah, I'm talking about ancient history throughout history.
Oh, okay.
It's not
only in more recent history with.
Yeah, now it's the other way around.
Yeah,
I'm just waiting for Z to say something about Israel.
The only group that are terrible at colonization basically would be Africans. Everyone
they
else
just
was at least
conquer
decent.
each other.
Well, yeah, I was about to say, what about the Zulu? That was in the 19th century. They were conquering people all left and right.
Yeah, but
Not
South
colonizing,
Africa,
though.
they haven't exactly expanded across the seas. It's not, like the British
Yeah,
Empire where you
that's
got
true.
the entirety of India, parts of China, Thailand,
Or the Dutch.
Hong Kong.
Burma, or even the French, with their portion of. I think the French controlled Indochina, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
Or even
Well-
Germany, which had the small parts of Africa and some parts in Southeast Asia during the Kaiser era.
But anyways, like every region area except Africa and obviously Australia and North and South America, but in the sense of Europe and Asia and the Middle East, all three of those regions at one time had empires expanding into each other.
Persia.
Yeah, it's like the only people who just weren't were just basically the black population in Africa. Everyone else kind of were, took switched when they were able to be very good at colonization. Only recently as it was the European continent, Europeans. Anyways, let's go on.
And everybody else, really.
They ballsy, they rose up all over the world and they walk into everybody's house and says, oh, this is nice, I'm gonna take your shit. And they have no qualms about it. They can take anything, baby.
What exactly? In the 19th century.
They're real good at
Well,
violence.
unless it is the Dutch, then no one else has really done that.
Real good at violence when the fact that the black population are the ones committing most of the violent crime right now.
Including in Europe.
And when you
Don't bring up facts, they're evil.
and when you listen to these stories of like why a shooting happens, it's because people got into an argument. Like
Oh yeah,
they
what
shoot
was it?
these
Sorry.
stuff. It's terrifying.
Yeah, wasn't it the whole thing last year where in black communities and Popeye's chicken they were stabbing each other for the
Yes.
Yeah, they were
chicken
shooting at a
sandwich.
Popeyes over chicken.
No, over a new chicken sandwich. And I just remember what's his name, the YouTuber from Portland, which I like, but I don't like his politics. Destry Smith. He made this great video where they did the survival challenge of visiting their local Popeyes and then taking a chicken sandwich from Chick-fil-A, and they just pointed out, yeah, the Chick-fil-A one is just much better. It's like...
But yeah, black people are really obsessed with their chicken. If anyone can...
They're obsessed with what they can't have.
Chicken?
No, functional farm and food.
I'm obsessed with chicken. I love chicken.
Yeah, but
I
can
think
you
the chicken
run
thing
a
is more of
farm?
a southern aspect.
I'm asking Demon right now.
Maybe.
Can you run a farm?
Could I run a farm?
Yes. And I'm not talking about a med lab. I know
I'm descended from farmers, and I do have a garden.
Anyways, let's finish this video. We're nearly done.
KFC.
It's like stealing people's lives just because they feel like it. If you are white and you know this is happening and you say nothing, then you're a killer too. You are adopting a whole philosophy that says it's okay to do this, and part of that philosophy allows you to be ignorant, right? And they're like, oh, I didn't know.
What
Like
exactly are
them
white-
ignoring
I'm
gang
sorry.
violence.
Pause this. Yes, fucking ignorant. That's why one of the most important things that the British Empire did at the same time of conquering was get as much studying about the culture that they've conquered.
Mm-hmm.
Like I know the stupid argument that I keep hearing that, oh, if you take away everything that isn't British from a British museum, they would be empty. And it's like, okay, but what about that we actually know from these cultures because of the efforts that they did back then to actually, research about the cultures that they now conquered? I mean, hell, British museums and even Italian
Preserve
museums
them too.
are so much better at preserving both artifacts and the historical information about the Egyptians than modern day Egypt can.
That's true.
Yeah, because there isn't like coups and civil wars in England.
No, it's not even that. It's even the most specialized place in Egypt. It wasn't like until the mid 2000s that the National Egyptian Museum for Ancient Egyptian History even bothered to cover up the displays that held the artifacts. So that means since its inception in like the 70s, everything was open to the environment.
Oh.
And that's not counting the robberies they've had.
Like, do they just not care about their history as much?
Oh, they care. They just don't give a shit about doing actual work.
Yeah, they like talking about it, but not doing.
There's a really big black market in. Oh, I guess black market is racist. Okay, there's a really big underground market in Egypt for artifacts and ancient stuff.
Well, I did say that the museum was being had problems with thievery. Anyways, let's continue on and finish this.
Taking shit.
Taking our ideas.
Copycat.
Gentrification.
Appropriating things that do not belong to them.
Taking over other people's
Yeah,
cultures and
turn
making
back,
you
turn
believe
back.
that they.
Turn back. I want to say something, but you need the image reach work. Play. Let's play the torture.
Gentrification.
Appropriating things that do not belong to them.
Lady.
That's very the fucking beret.
Yeah. Invest.
Yeah, that's French. Are you saying that belongs to you, ma'am?
Glasses too,
Parlez-vous français?
as well as the button.
Ah. Un poco parlo italiano.
She looks like a hipster.
She is a hipster.
Oh, jeez. What was the side? The beret, the hypocrisy, or the glasses?
All three.
Them. Taking over
Yes.
other people's cultures and making you believe that they
Throw away that
invented it.
shirt.
Maybe they're thinking as repurposing. It's like recycle and repurpose.
As my grandma would say, them white folk, they'll take it if you don't copyright it.
They are very good at.
That's anybody.
Well, I find that funny because, like, in like hip hop, like sampling got like really big, and they're just like ripping off of like other black artists, like from disco and funk. So it's like, no, you guys have just as big a hand in this as anyone else.
Also, don't forget there is that stupid community that still try to convince that Beethoven and Mozart was black.
That was the dumbest thing I've ever seen.
What?
Well, it's up there.
Oh my god. Was that what the hell is the guy's
I don't-
name? Tariq Nasheed?
Is that even worth entertaining?
Tariq Nasheed didn't invent it, but he is one of the easiest
No.
sources to find clips about it.
What the fuck? Mozart
But
obviously was not black.
Destruction of people, destruction of
He's fucking
humanness.
Austrian.
What exactly are white people superior at?
White people are not superior with anything.
Nothing.
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 There's nothing.
Nothing.
I don't believe that they're superior in any way, shape, or form.
Okay,
Just
so
because
I will
our
give off a
skin
short
color is
list of
different?
what they could throw away since they're not superior at anything. So we can throw. So these people can throw away the hair dye they're using, the glasses they're using, most of the clothing they're using. If there's anything synthetic, they can probably throw it away.
So I'm wondering, what's the whole point of the video then? If at the end they're like, "Oh, there's nothing," like
It's just white shaming and black supremacy.
No, it's just some race baiting.
I think it's just
yeah, that sounds about right.
Same
race
thing.
baiting and clickbait. more or less.
Okay,
Or
let's
we
read
fell
some
for
of the
it.
comments. So what do we have? Gentrification equals capitalism. Pretty much. Gentrification equals cleaning up the mess you made. Left is one misery.
I mean, pretty much.
That it's mostly
Like,
true. Well, the funny thing is, sorry, go ahead.
no, I got nothing.
Nick?
It's so stupid.
Okay.
Well, I was just
Color
thinking, like-
culture is nothing. Okay, colored culture is nothing but modern day new word for Rachel.
Rachel?
Rachel.
What did Rachel do?
Gotta let that on.
Rachel segregation. We will segregate the Rachels from society.
Rachel.
Not the Karens, but the Rachels. The
Rachels,
Rachels are the true Karens.
Rachel segregation, cause is misspelled. The people who are telling you can't do that cause that your color, they are splitting people up. What?
I get what he's saying. He's saying you can't do certain things because of you're not this race. It's the whole cultural appropriation bullshit where it's just like you can't say this or do this because you're white. You can't say this or do this because you're black, etc.
Yeah, and I've always called it cultural segregation because that's exactly what it is.
Indeed.
Okay, so none of y'all can do the Italian handshaking.
What?
No French kissing either.
Aw, what a French kiss, Val.
Fuck off. Anyways, no Canadian politeness.
No maple syrup. Damn.
What else? What else? Come on, Demon. You know you have some culture, probably.
You're not allowed to eat rice or potatoes because I'm Irish and Asian. So rice is an Asian thing. Potatoes are an Irish thing. So you can't have none of them.
Okay, and from my end, y'all can't eat pasta or any form of fried sausages.
And if you're not Welsh, you can't have sheep.
I'm fine with that.
I think they don't eat the sheep. I think they do something else.
Damn it, wait, I forgot. I think I have a little bit of Welsh in me. God damn it, and now I have to have sheep.
Did you just pay attention to what we talked about? Oh boy. No, let's see what else. All right. None of y'all can have slices of dried or cooked pork, also known as prosciutto.
Yeah, screw that.
A Welshman walks up to a sheep. Oh, hello, love.
Moving on. Anyway, next
okay,
comment.
let's see. What's the latest comment we got from Pedro Garcia? Karl Marx said achieving communism in America required using racial tensions between white and black people.
Wouldn't surprise me.
I would have to look that up, but yes, I would not be surprised.
I also have questions on that.
Wasn't Karl Marx a gold digger?
Yes, he crud, who was his friend at the time? Was it Kant or
it's Karl Marx and I forgot the other one. But also at the same time, you gotta remember Karl Marx was also rich by default.
Well, yeah, like I
his
can't
father
remember
was a factory
Hegel
owner.
But yeah, like he did like just gold dig off his friend who owned a factory.
No, his father also owned a factory, and
so he
got that belt afterwards.
So basically, he has a lot in common with modern communists.
Pretty much.
Just mooching off his parents and friends.
It just seems like to me, communists
and hating Jews.
That too, and homosexuals.
Marx was the Germans.
What?
Was Marx German? I thought he was something else.
Well, he was a German Jew.
He was a Jewish German who immigrated to England, saw how bad England was, and then wrote the Communist Manifesto. You could blame British society for that. What did Pedro say? Karl Marx said that the U.S. didn't have a set class structure, but did have racial problems. Yeah, everyone could see that.
Yeah, so basically just use whatever source of societal tension there is to invoke communism.
Which is kind of where the idea of cultural Marxism comes from, because the radical left tries to use the different ideological groups with sexuality, gender, and race to divide Americans.
And that would kind of explain why. Well, I was gonna say, and that would explain why a lot of LGBT have been sucked up into communist ideology, because it's part of the tension, the othering of people.
Well, the part of that too is that community is relatively small in regard of the population. So what do? You make more victims. You make new genders or whatever to create more
and
victims.
This is why the only cure for LGBT is a baseball bat.
So you're gonna hit yourself?
No, I'm gonna hit the other one that annoys me.
Hey, Z, I want my reparations because you created communism and Nazism.
No, you don't get it from me because, like I said, he wrote it when he came to Britain after he saw how bad British workers were. Karl Marx was a Lutheran Christian. He had Jewish ancestry, I think you meant to say, but was raised Christian and wrote religious poetry. Yeah, but by the end of the day, Karl Marx is still in one of the most richest Jewish cemeteries in, Britain. So there's also a Jewish group that constantly pays for his tomb.
Which is kind of ironic
So I
considering
can't walk over and piss on it.
how much anti-Semitism was in the USSR.
Yeah, I'm kidding.
Anyways, I think that will be it for the videos, and I don't know if I feel like gaming. I just feel a little tired.
Yeah, then we can share videos because I got something for you. I also shared an image first. If you want to check out.
Not sharing that, Z.
No, that'd
fine.
be bad.
Wow.
But I do gotta
don't share that.
get going.
Okay,
like
then
I
just
said.
share. Then we just talk about it and we let everyone think what could possibly be so bad that Z sent. And then they realize that their minds go to dark places.
Oh,
That's
God.
incredible aim, to say the least.
I've seen that before.
Fear the strong.
Now he just needs one of those Skyrim helmets and call himself Dragonborn.
Raincoat,
His name
anyone?
was Noah King, Dragonborn.
He knows the Thum.
And Rational, I gotta get going.
Alright, see you later, Neko.
I gotta help the fam. All right, later, guys.
See you later.
Yeah.
See you all next stream.
Anyways,
Anyway, send you the video.
I think we'll close it here.
No, I sent you the video.
What is it? Let me see what you sent first
I
before.
already sent it to you yesterday. It's safe.
I'm just checking to be sure.
Boo, you don't trust me.
Alright, I guess we can watch this one.
We need to see something of the good old times when politics was much simpler.
Oh, God. All right, I got to run, too.
Hold on, you can watch this one video.
Oh, fine.
It's only 2 minutes and 30 seconds.
Oh, okay.
Though we took an hour to get through a 4-minute video.
Hey.
Jib jab.
2008.
Yeah.
Come gather round Dick Condit, Scooter, and Rove. It's time to get packing. We must hit the road, but there's war and recession and bad mortgage loans.
And our legacy needs saving.
So forget he's a jackass who's liberally prone. So it's time for some campaigning.
Old party friends, time to say au revoir. We failed to extinguish Barack's rising star.
You were so close, my darling. Alas, no cigar.
Now their tune is changing. I'll be back in 4 years. Heck, it ain't all that far. Oh, it's time for some campaigning.
Gather conservatives, lend me a hand. Unless you want this liberal Boston command. I spent years in a rat hole in North Vietnam. Now the jihad needs containing. So forget my skin cancer and swollen left gland. Oh, it's time for some campaign.
Gosh, I'm so tired of divisive exchange, and I got one or two things to say about change, like the change we must change to the change we hold dear. I really like change, and I made myself clear.
So you'll talk about change till you're deaf in the ear. Oh, it's time for some campaign.
Citizens gather from both far and near for a ritual we practice every 4 years, when we promise you anything you wanna hear. To win the we spend billions of dollars to make our points clear, to get you to step up and cast your vote here. Then we spin you around and poke you in the rear. Oh, it's time for some campaign, and yes, it's time for some campaign.
Hey, did you?
The simpler times.
Okay.
Now, was that so bad, Demon?
No, that just proves things have always been awful.
Yeah, I was about to say, it's pretty much...
Yeah, but the song was at least catchy, and to be fair, I kind of like the imagery of John McCain running over Barack Obama in the tank. And I like the whole statement, let this liberal wuss take power, or take control, or whatever he said. And it's like, yeah,
Well,
Barack Obama was a liberal wuss on most things.
Did he ever complete any of his promises? Nope.
Well, he tried to enforce ACA, which
Did Barack Obama actually do anything when Russia was found to have actually done some collusion during the 28 U.S. elections?
No, you remember when he told the ambassador, like, tell Putin that I'll have more leeway after 2012, after I get reelected?
Yeah, but that was after the election. Although
No,
I still like the imagery of Hillary Clinton just beating up Bill Clinton, and Jib Jab has that in a lot of their things.
Well, I like
Hillary is just losing elections and beating Bill Clinton.
I also liked her campaign poster where it just had like
the communist
Stalinistic-
reference.
Yeah.
And to be fair, I'm kind of sad because I looked into it and they didn't do anything for the 2016 election. They did do something for the 2012 election, but the only two elections that they did this e-card thing is the 2012 and the 2020 election, which was actually quite nice, the 2020 election one, because they really went the unbiased route where they have, doesn't matter, do your patriotic duty to vote.
Pedro. I was going to say, Pedro, yes, Obama did quite a lot of bad things. Go ahead, T. Sorry.
Yeah, that's also counting accusing his opposition of voter fraud. Both 2008 and 2012. If you want to know what Obama did, you should bring on Don the Pleb. If you want to know how bad Barack Obama is doing, you should see him when he came to Italy last year. He was booed out of the country.
Awesome.
Like, Italians legitimately hate him because they find him really annoying. Anyways, what's this? Bill Clinton from Freedom Tunes. A lot of people voted for Trump, but not because they like him, because they couldn't stand Hillary. I get it. I did that too. To be fair, like I said, if you saw the last appearance of Bill Clinton in any media, was when Hillary was proclaiming of how Donald Trump will destroy our democracy, and he's just looking over at Hillary, and he just has this face of, oh, please shut up. You've already ruined our lives.
Yeah.
You can't win an election. Because, yeah, how many elections did Hillary run in? 08, 012. 012. 16, of course.
8, 12, 20. No, 16. Sorry. Yeah. 8, 12, 16. 2008, 2012, 2016. I think.
Well, if Biden kicks the bucket, she'll probably be like, I should be president.
Well, it wouldn't matter anyway because I'd be.
No, I got a better joke. So if Biden kicks the bucket, suddenly Kamala Harris looks a whole lot lighter.
Oh.
What? She's already gotten rid of other opposition. What would be one person that she has stated that she doesn't like? B.
I mean, maybe the plan is still for Hillary to become president. Maybe what they'll do is they put in Kamala just a sidestep away. But, once they get rid of Joe Biden, they'll go straight to Kamala, and then they will just, happen to bring in Hillary Clinton, and then so Kamala will leave too.
Then she'll have an accident.
Yeah.
Anyways, I think that will be it for today.
All right.
What's this? Pedro says, my dad doesn't understand why people hate Hillary Clinton.
Seriously?
I'm sorry about your loss.
Yeah, no shit.
Anyways, I think we'll end it here because I'm kind of tired. I think I'll just want to do, because I have also to get other work stuff done today. Anyways,
Oh, please, you're lied. You refused to clean the toilet.
I did not. Anyways, so yeah, go ahead and follow me on Medium and give my articles 50 claps. You can give up to 50 claps. So go follow me on my other social media, and if you aren't already subscribed, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. And also follow Greater California on Parler, Twitter, and MeWe now. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to Neko Boy. He has his YouTube channel with his pop culture stuff. And of course, don't forget to commission Z Commander for his different models he makes.
Please, I need money.
Do all that, and I'll see y'all later.